Welcome to Fast Philosophy. This video is part of our Translating Into Propositional Logic series and explains the grammar of tildes in well-formed formulas. Have fun! Our logical vocabulary consists of atomic formulas and 5 logical operators: the tilde, the caret, the vel, the horseshoe and the triple bar. Like many other languages, in addition to understanding the vocabulary, we must also understand the rules of grammar and of punctuation in order to understand the language. When a formula accords to these rules in propositional logic, we call it a well-formed formula, which is often abbreviated to WFF. When a formula does not accord to these rules, we call it ill-formed. Atomic formulas on their own are always well-formed. If we want to connect formulas together, then we use logical operators. There are grammatical rules concerning our use of these logical operators in relation to formulas, and these rules are based on the scope of the operators. Scope here can be understood as meaning that which the operator affects. The scope of the tilde is the smallest well-formed formula to its right. This serves as a grammatical rule. If a formula contains a tilde, then it is well-formed if and only if there is a well-formed formula to the right of the tilde. Let's look at some examples. This is well-formed because P is a well-formed formula, and it is to the right of the tilde. This is ill-formed. The tilde has no scope here because there is not a well-formed formula to its right. This is well-formed because the scope of the tilde is P. The scope of the tilde does not extend to Q because, remember, the tilde scope is only the smallest well-formed formula to its right. This is well-formed because the scope of the tilde is P and Q. This is because the brackets tell us that P and Q is one formula, but we'll talk about brackets in a later series. The tilde is unique among the logical operators in that the tilde can be placed next to itself without the formula becoming ill-formed. For example, this is well-formed. The scope of the first tilde is not P, which is well-formed. The scope of the second tilde is P. In natural language, this might mean something like Socrates does not like pineapple, which, while awkward to say, is not grammatically incorrect.